Hello dear students, welcome to Devika's Commerce and Management Academy. Income tax. We have seen the introduction of income tax. Now today we'll see types of taxes. Every income tax is having two kinds of taxes. One is direct tax, indirect tax. What is this direct tax? Let us focus on this only today, okay? So income tax is direct tax and indirect tax. You must have keen knowledge about this introduction part. Without this you can't go further classes, okay. So what is direct tax? A small definition is there. So a tax which is imposed by the government on a particular person. A tax which is imposed by the government on a particular person where he cannot transfer the burden of tax to another person is known as direct tax. Simple. Government is charging tax on particular person. That person cannot transfer his tax on another person. That is direct tax. Whereas indirect tax is a person on a person, government is charging some tax. That tax can be transferred from this person to another person. It is transferable. Where here it is not transferable. Directly on one person, when government is charging tax, they have to pay the tax. There is no other alternative. But here you can transfer it. It means on a person where government is charging tax, that person, taxable person and payment of person, both are different. Here both are same. Are you getting it? Now let us see direct tax. Means a person who has to pay the taxes. We call him as a person of SSC and he has to pay the tax. It's a direct tax. The best example of direct taxes we can take income tax and professional tax. So professional tax we can take. Now right now we'll see what types of direct taxes are there. So that is forms of direct taxes. 4 forms are there. The first one is that income tax. Income tax means on income what he has earned from various types of income. So on that a person has to pay the tax. Say I got income from my salary, I have to pay the tax. I got income from business, I have to pay the tax. I got income from another sources like rent or otherwise somebody has given me some gift or something. So all these things are considered as income tax. This is the main source of direct tax. Direct tax, there are different forms are there, but this is important. Through this government is getting a lot of income, okay, through the tax form. So income tax, income, whatever income is earning by a person, on that when government charges any kind of tax, that we say it as income tax. Popular one, easy one, many people are paying. Through this income tax, government is getting a very good income and they are running the state comfortably without any deficiency of finance. So that's income tax. Next one is that dividend tax. When a company is giving dividend to the shareholders, on that they are supposed to pay the tax. Suppose say a company has paid around say 50 lakh dividend they have declared. 50 lakh dividend they have declared. On 50 lakh they have to pay the tax. So it is a extra burden to the company because whatever income they are earning, on that they are paying tax, and also on the dividend which is declared by the company, on that also they are paying tax. So it is a double burden for every company. So anyway, dividend tax is also another source of income as a part of direct tax. Next one is that inheritance tax. Inheritance tax means this tax is imposed on such kind of property where people received from the ancestors. So from ancestors, when they are receiving any kind of property, on that property also they have to pay the tax. So this tax, inheritance tax, is also slowly it's dissolving in our country, but anyway it is there. People are paying or not paying, there are some kind of things are going on. So but anyway this is called as inheritance tax. And fourth one is that estate duty. Estate duty means if a person died, expired, on the deceased person, whatever property is there, that property is transferred to some other persons who are related to the deceased person. When these people are receiving any income from the deceased person, on that they have to pay estate duty. On that they have to pay estate duty. So this is also income tax. But in the present scenario, you can say it is dissolved in our country. This is estate duty is dissolved in our country, but only these three are there: income tax, dividend tax and inheritance tax, and this is almost dissolved. Earlier it was there. These are the forms of direct tax. Now if you see the advantages of direct tax, first thing is that economy. It is very much economy. This is the best way to get the income to the government through this income tax. And we are making some kind of small changes, small savings also from various groups of people. Those who are earning lot of money, from them we are charging a lot of tax. Who are earning less, we charge less. Anyway, all together from every angle we are covering. So that is the economy of every country. So this is the backbone and easy way to accumulate the funds of every government. Government is running with the funds. How do they get the funds? Funds with the tax only. So that is why this is direct tax is a kind of economy. It is a backbone of every country's finance, I can say. And second thing is the certainty. We'll have a very good clarity about this income tax. And whatever income is earning by a person, so on that we are charging tax. So how will be the charges? That is also clearly every year it will be mentioned. Means there is a certainty, there is a surety, there is a clarity about income, what we are charging, what is the tax we are charging. So every person is having good understanding. Certainty means I am getting this much of income, I am getting 5 lakh, means on 5 lakh I have to pay this much. That kind of certainty is there for every person, and also government is also having a good certainty and clarity about that tax. Third one is that elasticity. Elasticity in the sense this income tax policies, it may be changes according to the need. We can change that. Elasticity means more increasing or decreasing. That is in the hands of government only. Central government of tax is there, no? So that government department is going to make this kind of changes, amendments. Whenever they find that funds are less, they can increase the tax rates. Whenever funds are sufficient, then they can decrease the tax. So that elasticity, more or less increasing or decreasing of taxes is, we call it as elasticity. Elasticity is possible, it is in the hands of government only. So easy to make changes. Next one is that convenience. Paying income tax is convenience for both the parties. Assessee means person who has to pay the income, or assessee and also government. Both the people, it is very convenient. Means there is no third party. Income tax is charged on, direct tax is charged on the person directly. So he has to pay the tax. There is no mediator, there is no problem at all. So whatever amount he has to pay, he can pay directly to the government. It is very much comfortable and convenience option, and government is also will be getting a certain amount of income from the group of people who are earning money. So that is why we say it's inconvenience, it's convenience for both the parties. And next thing is that civic consciousness. Civic consciousness means here you must remember that every person is responsible for the development of every country. What is your contribution? What is the contribution of every person? So whatever they are earning from that, they are contributing something. That is civic consciousness. Means they have some moral responsibility. With that moral responsibility, they are also contributing something to the government for the development of that country. That is, we call it as civic consciousness. And another thing is that less possibility of shortage. When we have certain clarity about income tax policies, there will be definitely less possibility of shortage. Shortage will be very less, because they are planning according to the need and requirement of the state funds, the country's funds, whatever is required. So there is no question of shortage, less possibility. They can plan accordingly. And another thing is that reducing the inequalities. How it is reducing the inequalities? The main thing you remember that income tax policy, especially direct tax policy, is in such a way that more income people, more tax. Less income people, less tax. It means they wanted to decrease the inequalities of the economy. Group of people, many types of group of people are there in the society. On every people they wanted to decrease that inequality. For that purpose, they have such a policies that more income, more tax. Less income, less tax. Sometimes no income, very less income, no tax at all. So this kind of policy is definitely going to decrease the inequalities. It is going to reduce the inequalities. And last thing is that controls the effect of business cycle. Whenever sometimes more or less any kind of changes comes in the economy or economic policies or any kind of changes in the business levels and all these things, that we can control it through the direct tax only. So that is possible. These are the main merits of direct tax. Next, there are some demerits also. What are the demerits? First thing is that unpopular. Everyone is not educated in our country. When everyone is not educated, they are getting income from various departments, various groups. They are getting income, but they do not know how to pay the income, how to pay the tax on income, how to pay, to whom they have to consult. And once again, they are struggling to contact the mediators, like tax payable persons are there, tax authorities are there, and some brokers are there. They are contacting all these people. So that is why it is unpopular, I can say. And remember one important thing I forgot to mention you, income tax is charged on a person who is earning income. But here agriculture income is not taxable. They have given a full concession to the agriculture income because to promote the agriculture. That's it. So anyway, it is unpopular and inconvenience. Always there will be changes in the income tax. Every year there will be changing, more or less some kind of changes they will do. So this makes inconvenience to the normal people. Who has to pay the tax, how much I have to pay, last year was this much, this year, means every year they have to update themselves. So getting knowledge and updating themselves and how to pay the tax, and after paying the tax also they have to file that returns. Filing the income tax returns, that is also important thing. So this is not so easy to a common man who do not have much knowledge. So that is why it's inconvenience and the complexity of laws. Laws also always changing, more or less some kind of tough laws and which cannot be understandable by a common man, that kind of laws which makes lot of fuss in the minds of the normal common people. So that is what happening, and also possibility of evasion. Every common man intention is that he does not want to pay the tax, income tax, especially direct tax. Whoever has to pay the direct tax, every common man wanted to evade, wanted to skip, wanted to avoid it. How to avoid? They have their own strategies, which is a problem, which is a drawback of income tax. So every person is trying. So these are the simple demerits. You can take a screenshot or note down. Got an understanding about income tax? Income tax are two types, direct tax, indirect tax. We have discussed today only direct tax. Direct tax means a tax which is imposed on a particular person who is earning tax. This is not transferable. So we have seen types of sources of direct tax. These are the four forms: income tax, dividend tax, inheritance and estate duty. And we have also seen the merits. Total 8 merits are there and demerits. Am I clear? My dear students, nothing to worry to understand and by heart this subject. Concept, if you remember, what is this? The moment when you hear my class, immediately take out your textbook or any material, whatever you are having, take out and read it once. It will be very clear for you to understand. Throughout the year you have to study, but before exams you have to revise. This should be your strategy, then you won't struggle to write the exams. Before exams you will not have tension at all. Follow this policy. Please check out the playlist. I'll come up with more interesting topics, more interesting subjects in an easy way to understand. Don't forget to share this videos, check out the playlist and use it as per your wish. Good luck.